Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we are talking about upgrading your ski boots. We're going to answer some questions you guys have about ski boots that I've kind of collected over the time. So, without further ado, I will answer your questions about booster straps, boot liners, etc. Alright, Simon Rooney 611 commented 3 different times on different videos. Okay, I'll get to it, okay, gosh. What do you think about booster straps compared to high-end boots that come with a similar type of strap, not Velcro, for example? I have a pair of Dalbello Krypton 130 Ti's that come with a strap that seems similar to what a booster strap is. I've never used a booster, so curious if there would be much of a difference compared to what is on my boot. Yeah, I've tried the Atomic Hawks 130 line, where it comes with that kind of rubber-ish strap, and those are definitely better than Velcro. It's hard to be worse than Velcro. But I will say that those are thin and not as responsive as a booster. The booster straps really do give you more kind of recoil, like you flex the boot and then you relax and it takes a second for the boot to come back so you can flex again. And if you're really carving and care about that stuff, the booster comes back probably 2 or 3 times faster than the default, even for the rubber ones. Those ones are definitely better than Velcro. And the nice thing with those 130 flexes is that usually they attach them with a little screw or nut that goes to an Allen key. Whereas if you have the rivets, you have to drill them out, which stinks. So it's a lot easier to replace, which I appreciate. And it is still much better than Velcro. But 100%, I still think the booster strap is way better. I'm not paid by Booster, I'm not sponsored by Booster, I'm just a big fan. I use them personally. It's really easy to swap out because you have that kind, so 100%. Get whatever kind is recommended for you. I might have a link down below, but the booster strap will improve the performance over those. I mean, just look at it. The booster straps are like 3 or 4 pretty dense layers of rubber, depending on which product you get. If you look at the ones that come with it, it's just a thin little thing. It barely does anything. Great question. Berg4357123 says, do you use the World Cup booster strap or the Expert Racer booster strap? On their chart, I'm in between. I don't remember. Sorry, I believe it's the World Cup. I'm pretty sure. I'll try to look. It might be the Expert Racer because mine doesn't have the gold. I think that the World Cup has gold. If you look, mine's whatever the highest one is that has the black metal, but probably honestly next time I'll go up to World Cup. If you've ever raced, go with that. Okay, what'd you say? You have an RX-3 130 and you're 160 pounds? I don't think it's going to matter much either way. Probably Expert Racer will be fine for you. But, you know, also if you're coming off of racing, then maybe go with the World Cup one. But I don't think it makes too much of a difference either way. I'd go with whatever they recommend. For 160, I'd probably lean towards the Expert Racer. But the next ones I'm getting will probably be World Cup, but I weigh, you know, 70 pounds more than you. Okay, this is part of the Rise in Alpine comment where I chugged their hot sauce and was like, oh! I gave them a shout out in one of my recent videos. Anyway, they commented, keep doing what you're doing, brother. I put booster straps on my old Striders last night for the first time. What was I waiting for? We'll give those old girls another year of life. That's awesome. They might give them another life of responsiveness, but I don't think they'll actually add any life to your ski boots. I think the liners might, because I know the liners can get kind of packed out, but I'm not sure the booster straps will actually give you another life. The plastic might start to soften up, and then the booster straps might bring some of that stiffness up, but you know, depending on what's degrading on your boots, I'm not sure it'll actually extend their life. But I'm glad you like them. I mean, it's like pretty obvious right away the improvement that you get. So anyway, I'm done talking about Booster. It's like free advertising for them. Booster, email me. I'd love to work with you guys. All right, Sloth Apocalypse 6577 says, howdy, I bought my first setup since high school in 2019, and I think I did a pretty good job with the variety that's out there, but there's something that feels off this year. For reference, I ski New England, mainly Vermont, Stowe, Chemo, Snow, Magic, Stratton. Wow, that's a lot of Vermont ones. Oh, you might have Epic. No, wait, Stratton's Icon. I don't know. Cool, good for you. I love tree skiing. Current setup is Elan Ripstick 96, Dalbello Pantera 90. Since I got the skier, I've become a more aggressive skier and have gained 30 pounds of dad weight. I can relate. I ski all over the mountain, Love to lay down carving turns, ski bumps, trees, and hit jumps. I've noticed that my heel has started to come up when I load the front of my boots, and I don't feel as stable as I used to. Is this a product of my weight gain or just age of my boots? Do you think new stiffer boots would help me? Will stiffer boots hinder me in the trees? I come from a Nordic background, and I've always thought I should need stiff boots, but I also don't know what I'm talking about. Thanks. Yeah, that's a combination, I would guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure how old your other boots are, but I would guess that you probably need to change out your boots, especially if you got them in 2019, because that would make them almost 7 years old now. What can happen is the liners can pack out, and then that makes more wiggle room for your foot, so that could be causing it a little bit. But also a 90 flex, if you're built like me, is too soft, and then it makes it so that the range that you're flexing is so much more, and your heel can't hold to make up for that. Because you're flexing farther over, your heel has more room to kind of lift on this side of it. So you definitely should look at stiffer boots. I mean, I go talk to a proper boot fitter. There's a really good one out of Stowe. Oh my God, what are they called? Like Race Place or something? Out of Waterbury, Vermont, which is partly where I grew up. But yeah, I would go check a good boot fitter out of Vermont and get a proper fitting boot. Make sure that the length is also the right amount. I've got a whole boot fitting video where you can kind of count in the shell. You want to have like 2.5 to 3 fingers behind your heel. It sounds like your boots are too soft, and they might even be a little bit too big and they're packed out. But yeah, you probably need a stiffer boot. I mean, I think sometimes the problem with ski boots is that the flexes aren't uniform. The numbers don't necessarily mean anything. I think people will think, well, I'm a beginner, so I don't need a stiffer boot. But what happens is if you're bigger, you have more weight kind of going down on it, and as you get stronger and you advance, you also have bigger muscles that can flex the boot easier. 90 is a very soft boot. I would 100% guess that that's probably at the heart of it, and then maybe some of it just being an old boot being packed out. You know, you can save a lot of money in a lot of different ways. You can get skis on sale, you can get last year's graphic, but boots are really the one area I wouldn't take shortcuts. I would go and get a proper fitting boot, and you'll thank me later. Your days will be better, you'll get more performance out of your skis. It's really the most important piece of equipment. It's up there with bindings and helmets. Probably number one, maybe number two if you got helmets for safety and bindings. But yeah, go get your boots fit properly, and I would definitely try stiffer boots. In my boot fitting video, there is like a threshold where your knee shouldn't go over your toe if you're looking at it sideways. So watch that video for reference. It's one of my older videos, so I apologize, it's a little bit rougher, but I think that will help out a lot. All right, last comment. Andrew Diamond says, I just went one Mondo size down, but from mid-volume to high-volume boot and had the liner heat molded. It's a world of difference having something that actually fits. In my old boots, I'd have all the buckles all the way down and my foot sliding a bit fore and aft. Now my heel stays put. Admittedly, this was also a function of the liner being packed out. In the event, the answer is always to work with a boot fitter. The boot I bought is not what I planned to buy. The choice resulted from a series of measurements and then resulted in a custom fitting once the boot I ordered arrived at the shop. Without a boot fitter, I would have never considered going down in Mondo size, nor consider going to a high volume boot. Yeah, it makes all the difference. I mean, it's hard. Skiing is so expensive, and I understand people who don't want to pay for the boot fitter time, but it probably is the most bang for your buck is getting a proper fitting boot. I've never had my boots worked on, but I've also worked in shops and worked on other people's boots, so I've got like at least baseline knowledge, and I've been lucky enough that I can get boots out of the box to fit me properly. But yeah, I mean, getting the right width and the right length, I'm sure you're just feeling a world of difference. So I'm glad this worked out, and 100%, if you're worried about anything, you know, save money on skis, save money on how much you spend at the lodge and the cafeteria or whatever, and prioritize proper fitting boots. So anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. I will also have, like I said before, affiliate links to the boot liners, and I appreciate you guys watching. I say it 100 times and I'll say it 1,000 more. Without you guys watching, I don't have access to this kind of gear, and it means a ton to me that you guys watch it. I'm super, super grateful. We also have memberships down below if you want to support the channel that way, but more than anything, just thanks for taking your time to watch my video. It means a ton to me. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.